What's up, man? It's your big brother K-Rino. Wanted to get outside, man. I haven't been able to get outside like I'm used to doing, like I like to do from time to time, but I'm able to get out here as things start to get a little bit back to looking like Houston again. There's still a lot of people that are in bad shape, a lot of people suffering without water. Um I'm not sure about how many people may still be without power. But even if the power comes on, so many people have been without power for so long that it set them back. You know, people that have not been able to work and just not do things around the house. It's typical things that we take for granted. So, you know, as the temperatures start to warm up a little bit, we're praying that things can get back to some semblance of normal. That's not my subject today. I'm gonna show y'all the cactus. He's struggling, but he's still here. He's still here, but he's struggling. Now my tree, my favorite tree, y'all saw him the other day. But what I'm talking about today, man, is we gotta understand something, man. You know, with all that's going on um, in the world right now, and this controversy happening on every front, and divine judgment taking place right here in America. America on its way out. We got to be careful of the people that we surround ourselves with, because everybody that's with you ain't with you. And what I got to make y'all understand is real serious. It's not always about the people who you can clearly identify as your enemies. You see what I'm saying? There are people among us who we can clearly identify and say, well, that's an enemy. That's somebody that I ain't rocking with. I'm not with that person. That person ain't with me. We don't see eye to eye, and that's what it is. But the biggest threat are those who are close to you, who say they're close to you, who say they are of like mind with you, who are out in some cases doing the work with you. They are out there on the front lines. They in the community with you, standing side by side, soldiering with you, getting down. But a lot of people in those situations, man, are agents. A lot of those people are hired to get close to you and to infiltrate whatever it is, your organization, whatever your setup, whatever the case is. People are there to infiltrate that and destroy it from the inside out. And you got to be careful to not let them destroy you. See, people will say, people, this is what an agent would do. What an agent would do, they will immerse themselves in the same courses of study that you immerse yourself in. They'll have all the knowledge, they'll have all the information that you have. And again, like I said, they will actually be out there getting down with you, but all the while plotting against you, all the while reporting back to somebody, you know, giving them all the information. So you have to be real careful with those who you surround yourself with. And it's a crazy way to kind of live and kind of function, because there's no limitations on who it could be. There's no uh, set program of who it could be. And the way these things work, they typically like to get into organizations, man, and they will literally work their way all the way up into an organization, and will literally be on the scene for years. It's like an undercover cop trying to do a sting on a drug lord or something like that. And sometimes, man, them cops get so immersed into the game that they will have been around these cats for years. And you see it on TV, see it in the movies and stuff like that. They'll be in the game so much that they actually have become that character. They become that, and still recognizing that they're a police officer. At some point, they're gonna make the bus, and that's how a lot of these undercovers are in terms out here in this activism, wearing these activist hats, and that's not really who they are. But it goes beyond that also, man, because you got people who are just in general, they don't work for any organizations. See, that's the part we know. They don't work for any organizations. They're not part of any government setups or anything like that. They are just individuals who are seeking to take you down and to destroy what you're building, and they get close to you just for that. So people will make that statement, keep your enemies close. You don't, these days, you don't have to keep them close. They keep themselves close to you. And because they have to be in touch with what you're doing in order to carry out whatever it is they're trying to carry out, man. And regardless of how good a person can disguise um, their loyalty to you, it's gonna always be signs that you're gonna see that will show you. It's like, hey, wait a minute, why'd you do that? Why'd you do this? That'll show you if the person is not really, really possibly with you. And is that to say that you should start just checking all your friends and family and squaring them off and become this paranoid um, individual who just untrusting to every. That's not to say that. It's to say that you have to recognize certain signs and you have to move accordingly to certain codes of movement when it comes to how you handle your business and in relation to pretty much everybody, you know. And God's gonna protect you uh, when you are on your note. He's gonna protect you, but we gotta understand, man, that everybody that's with you ain't with you. There are people who mean you no harm. Sometimes they don't mean you no harm, but they don't visualize the vision like you. They don't see the vision. They don't even believe in it like you. So they'll ride with you, but in their mind they're like, man, I don't believe in that. What he talking about? I'm here because I'm cool with him. You know, that's very dangerous too. You know, because you can be under the false perception that the person is like-minded, and if a situation arises, they'll bail out on you. They'll bail out on you, and you thought that they were down just like you was down. So keep that in mind as you move in these times that we're in right now, man. We already know who's not with us. The enemy, that's the enemy that you see, and then there's the enemy that you don't see. And typically, historically, it's the one that you don't see that's the most dangerous to you. Any of our great black leaders who've been assassinated or set up to go to prison and all that, it's always somebody close to them that was placed in the situation, that was planted in the situation that ended up taking them down, you know. So you got to be careful with that, man. Well, anyway, it's your big brother K-Rino. Keep that in mind as you move forward, whether you operate on high levels or you just a regular old cat in the hood. All right, man. I'll catch y'all later. One love. Peace.